So welcome, and I will start fundamentally. I'm going to start the session with few questions. Okay, you all have come across scenarios where one man is a huge success, but then a lot of people or some of them are abject failure. And many of you would have seen that you would have been sitting in the classroom. Some of you might be sitting in the first bench, some of you might have sat in the last bench, some in the middle of the benches. But you would have seen that people who would have sat in the first bench and very academic focused might have been huge failure in their lives. And whereas the people who might have sat in the last bench, you might have thought these guys, okay, these guys, when they're going to become even a success, because they are just spending their time in the last bench, not even attending to the seminars or the lectures of the teachers. Will these guys be a success? You might have even wondered whether these guys are going to have any life at all in the future. So, but rather opposite things would have happened. You might have seen that those people who might have sat in the last benches, some of them, not all of them, if necessarily, would have become great success. And similarly, few people who might have been very attentive in the class, always sitting in the front bench, would have been also miserable failures. And have you come across such scenarios, or you know some people like that? If yes, please type yes here. Okay. And and also you might have seen that one man is always healthy but another always sick, right? And one salesperson is a superstar in the company always, while another is struggling to survive. So, and you know that 96% of the wealth in the world is owned by just 1% of the people. Why? So if these kind of questions, if these kind of questions, so please feel free to type in here when I ask a question. For example, you might have come across personal examples in your life where I just gave a typical example in a classroom where some of your friends might have been sitting in the front bench, very academic, may not have been great success in lives, but whereas some people who might have been sitting at the back bench, not so attentive, but still would have made big in their life. I'm not giving this as a recipe for success, by the way. It is always good to sit attentively in the class, nothing wrong about it, but I'm just showing there are always possibilities where you see that opposite things would have happened, but you do not know how, right? So thanks, Rashmi, and thanks, Sudarshan, saying yes. So true, I have come across such situations personally in my own life as well. So what makes people more successful than others is the fundamental question, because the title of our webinar today, our live session today, is Success and Freedom Unlimited. So we will see the principles of success and how success is, encarved or engraved in someone's life. So this is mainly because why some people are so successful whereas many are not is because of fundamentally two reasons. One, these people who are successful, they have understood the power of the subconscious mind. Whether they have understood it by reading something or by learning it from other people or by observing something, or probably they were born like prodigy with some good understanding of the concept of what is subconscious mind, what is the power of thoughts already when they were born. And so either of these people, and so both of them, both these kinds of people are very, very successful in their lives. So first, understanding the principle of subconscious mind and the principles of success will drive them. This is the only difference between successful and normal people, as you call it. The research clearly shows that mind has tremendous power. And you know that there is a person by name Albert Einstein. Hope many of you would know him. Is one of the greatest scientists, right? And Albert Einstein, when he was gone, when he passed away, when he people tried to research on his brain, and the research showed this gentleman would have used maybe 10% of his brain power or mind power. Just by using 10% of the mind power, right? And he is one of the most celebrated scientists ever, right? And he himself has utilized only 5 to 10% of his brain power. Then imagine people, normal people like many of us, how much we would be using. And I sometimes wonder, are we really using the power of the mind at all? Are we really, know what is our mind, what is our subconscious mind is capable of, and are we really using our mind and utilizing or leveraging it for our life and for our success and freedom? So why a lot of people do not know or do not a lot of people are not even utilizing their power of their subconscious mind? It's only because of one reason, because they're ignorant. They have ignored it completely. They are ignorant of the power of the mind, and they are ignorant because nobody taught them. No schools or no universities talk about mind, right? They speak about all other subjects. So but they don't speak about the power of the mind. And so it's very important to become aware of what kind of power you have, and then you can utilize that power for achieving great things in your life. So I already said that our brain is a hardware, our mind is a software. And how many minds we have? Okay, guys. So it's only one mind. Okay, if you have more than one mind, definitely you need to go and check with a psychiatrist. Don't delay. As soon as the as as soon as the COVID lockdown ends, please go and check how many minds you have. So you should have typically one mind, but what many people are referring to as here two minds or three minds is what you mean by that is the segments of the mind, because you have a conscious mind, right? A mind is a mind, right? There's only one mind, but within the mind there are several layers. That's what many people are meaning here by typing two, three, and four. So one is the conscious mind. The other one is the subconscious mind, and if you go even deeper, you get super conscious or supreme conscious minds and things like that. So a lot of layers are there. The same thing in your life, you have something called conscious mind, which you can see on the top, which is you think that is all about you, but there is very deep beneath you, there is something called subconscious, and that's where most of your life is being run. There is a lot of programs which is inside, and that is what is powerfully running your life, which you powerfully or disgracefully, whatever you name it, but that is what is driving your life, and all the 90% of your mind's power is just in that deep stuff, which is called subconscious mind. So be aware that 90% of the power is underneath, very much deep inside the layers of your mind, in the subconscious. And what is the difference between these two minds then? What is conscious mind and subconscious mind? The conscious mind, I already told you, it has only 10% power, right? Whereas subconscious mind has 90 percentage of power. And conscious mind is like your boss, whereas subconscious mind is like your subordinate. Whatever the boss says, the subordinate listens and tries to execute. Subconscious mind doesn't know how and exactly what is the path it has to take to achieve that thing, but inherently it has the huge amount of power and potential to make things happen for you, to help you to achieve your goals, however big the goals are, right? So that's first thing. And then your conscious mind is like Aladdin. Okay, Aladdin and Genie. You would have, for sure, you would have seen that movie Aladdin and Genie, where Aladdin as a genie, where he rubs a cup, right? Rubs a kind of a lamp, and after rubbing that lamp, a kind of a big monster ghost or a genie pops up, and the genie says, "Your wish is my command." So, whatever you wish for, Aladdin, I am ready to make it happen for you. So, here, the genie is the subconscious mind, whereas Aladdin is the conscious mind. I'm giving all these analogies because this kind of concepts will sink in very quickly inside, and you can remember it very easily. And also, you can teach these concepts to your children at the very young age so that they can catch hold of it. Now, I told you that whatever your conscious mind thinks, right, or whatever you ask your subconscious mind to do, it will deliver. So now I want you to experience that powerfully, and through a small demonstration that I'm going to do. You have to just look into your hands. I do not know whatever is your dominant hand. If you're right-handed, just take your right hand and look into your hand, and then very powerfully, right, command your hand to grow longer. Don't worry. Don't think that, okay, whether my hand is going to grow long or all these things. Leave out your logic and everything for a minute. Just completely believe you're Hanuman now. Rama asked for something and you want to make it happen. Okay, so just think of your hand. Yes. Okay, and look at your hand and command powerfully, grow longer. And as I am saying grow longer loudly, wherever you are going to also say loudly, looking at your hand, grow longer. Okay, now I'm going to repeat this for 8 times, and you have to also repeat loudly 8 times with full faith and belief. Grow longer. Looking at your right hand or any dominant hand. If you're left-handed, take your left hand. Okay. By the way, before doing this exercise, I would request you to do one thing. You will see a line here, right? So you see this wrist line here, this line on both hands. Yes. So please first of all, bring your both hands together with the lines aligned and check if both of your fingers from both hands, I mean, all the fingers are of same length or not. In my case, you can see that my both hands, all the fingers are aligned and both are of same height. Whereas in some cases, whereas for some people, one of the hand could be little bit longer. One of the hand can have little longer fingers. Okay. So check that first, well aligned. Come to Namaste posture, Namaskar, and if it is of the same height, well and good. For those people where one of their hands fingers are longer, then I would suggest you choose the other hand where your fingers are a little shorter than the other hand. For the other people where both the fingers are of the same length, no problem, you can choose your dominant hand, it would be better. Okay, so ready? Now I am going to give the command. You are going to command from your side with full faith and belief to your hand, whichever dominant hand you have. Grow longer. Look at your hand powerfully and say, grow longer. Repeat it at your end as well. Grow longer. Grow longer. Grow longer. Grow longer. Grow longer. Grow longer. And again, grow longer. Now I request you to again bring back your both hands to the Namaste position and make sure that you are aligning your lines as you did before and bring it in the Namaste position. And please check if one of your, that is your dominant hand's finger, has grown longer than it was before. You can see for me, yes, it has done, it has happened. And for you, if you see the same, please type here S. And for those people where already one of your hand was little longer than the other hand, please check if both of your hands fingers are now equal. If you have seen this happening, kindly type S here. Please work for you, but it will definitely work. Yes, I can see that changes. Very good. Okay, so for majority, at least I can say, except Sindhu, has worked, and you have worked. Looks like it did. Pratyu, if it looks like it did, means it really did. Physiologically, it is possible. Okay, it's not a magic. Really worked and happy. Thanks, Jaya. So what happens is pretty much this is a demonstration to show that your words, and by the way, when I mean by words, it is nothing but your thoughts are the ones which becomes the words, or your actions, your thoughts and actions, sorry, your thoughts and actions which are driven, sorry, your words and actions which are driven by thoughts, which very powerful, and the thoughts are nothing but coming from your mind, so your mind itself is very powerful to make things happen. This is a simple demonstration to show that when you command, it happened. So a lot of people after this demonstration would ask, sir, can I get back my hands to my normal length, because I don't want it to be growing forever. So for you guys, again, for those who participated in this demonstration, I request you to come back, take your hands, whichever hand which has grown longer, and now we are going to command it to get back to normal, and you will see that miraculously, magically, and it will again come back to normal. It is nothing miraculous or magical. It is simply because of your thoughts and the power of your mind and the words. So now please command as I do here for your hands which has grown longer to get back to normal. Okay, ready? Get back to normal. 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 And get back to normal. Now please check again, bringing your hands together. For me it has worked, and my both my hand fingers has come to the same level. I hope it is the same for you, for you all as well. Please check. Please check and say it worked or not. So for those it didn't work, don't get disheartened, because that's the beauty. Because for those who believed that it can work, it would have definitely happened without any doubt. If you're plunged into it, it would have happened. Why? Because the subconscious mind doesn't have any logic. The conscious mind is the one which analyzes things. It is a very logical mind. And whenever you ask something to conscious mind where you think that you cannot believe that it can happen, then there itself the conscious mind will stop the command to enter inside the subconscious mind so that it can affect your physiology. Okay. So it's a good mind for doing mathematics, for analysis, for logic, for reasoning and everything. Whereas your subconscious mind has much more potential and power. The moment it believes that something is possible, then it knows how to make it happen. So that's the beauty of subconscious mind. So many times what stops us from achieving our goals is our conscious mind, because it starts to think, oh, if this doesn't happen, how can it happen? You know what? When you are a small kid and when you are starting to learn to walk, how many times you would have fallen? Not even a single time you would have thought that, oh, this is not going to happen in my life. But whereas now, after you becoming adult, even if 2 times you would have failed on one thing that you would have tried, then you think as if that this is not going to work at all. And what is that playing the game? That is your conscious mind. And it is the moment you start to think that, oh, okay, it's not going to work. I failed already twice. Then do you think that it's possible? Whereas your genie, which is inside, which is your subconscious mind, is capable of doing anything and everything for you to make it happen as long as you persist. If I say that, oh, okay, I'm going to buy a BMW car next year, or I'm going to build a house next year, I'm going to buy something great, but the conscious mind starts to think, do you think it's possible with the salary that you're receiving today? Do you think with the kind of job and salary that you're making, how is it possible on earth for you to have a BMW car? Then suddenly, that's it. The conscious mind stops that potential affirmation to even get inside your subconscious mind, you know, and that's it. It is decimates your goal, your thoughts, and everything that would have gone deeply inside subconscious mind to make things happen for you. So many times we kill our own thoughts. We kind of seed in all kind of nonsensical thoughts very deep inside your subconscious mind. We believe in all the things which are negative, but at the same time, when it comes to positivity, when it comes to achieving some goals which are big, we stop to believe in that. The human mind is wired in such a way that whenever there are negativity, whenever there is an anxiety, whenever there is a kind of a potential threat, we completely totally believe it, including and put it in the subconscious mind. Whereas anything positive, anything that you want to do something great or miraculous stuff, whatever it is, then the conscious mind starts to question and pushes it away like a watchman, not letting those thoughts, good thoughts, to enter deeply inside the subconscious. So when you were a small kid falling again and again and again, nobody taught. Nobody taught you to, again, you have to try and get up and walk until you walk. That was possible because your conscious mind was not meddling with your process. The conscious mind, when you're a baby, there was no conscious mind, only subconscious mind. And thanks to that subconscious mind, which is nothing but your source, or it is connected to the God or to the divine intelligence, whatever it is, there is a divine intelligence which is driving your life. Yes or no? Whether you call it God, whether you call it a source, whether you call it a power, whatever it is, there is something inherent, deeply subtle, which is driving our life, and without which your heart will not beat. Tell me one thing. Are you consciously beating your heart now, or it is automatically beating by itself? For a single minute, I give you, like a magic wand. You have 2 minutes of control over your heart. Take it. Consciously, you can beat your heart. You know what will happen? Many people can't even count 17 continuously without thinking about another thought. Then imagine if you have to beat your heart without skipping a beat so that you can live for 2 minutes. I believe within the 17 seconds, the heartbeat would have been gone because it was given consciously. Thank God that subconscious mind drives all these important functions in your body. From the very beginning, when you're born, where you didn't even have a conscious mind, everything was properly handled by that subconscious mind. Starting from the division of the cell, a lot of intelligence is inside you, not necessarily in your conscious, but subconsciously. And this subconscious mind is connected to the source, which is the God, which gives all the power and everything to drive you and your life. So, and it is a shame that, we are able to tap to that beautiful source of power, which is called subconscious, which is connected to the extreme divine intelligence. Okay, so again, another thing about conscious mind and subconscious mind is conscious mind is like a gardener, subconscious mind like a fertile field. So in the subconscious mind, you sow a apple seed, it will be an apple plant. If you sow an orange seed, you will grow an orange plant. So your subconscious mind, it's like a fertile land ready to take anything that you want to sow and make it into a tree, which will become a fruit bearing tree. For example, if you put in a seed which is a thorny plant seed, then you have to expect only one thing coming out of that fertile land, which is nothing but thorny plants. So you can decide whether to make it a desert filled with thorny plants, or a fertile land filled with beautiful fertile land filled with great garden, flowering garden, and fruitful garden. So here your conscious mind is a gardener. Your thoughts are the seeds. The kind of thoughts you are sowing inside your subconscious mind is constantly going to produce the result accordingly. So please be completely sure that depending on the thoughts that you're going to sow, right, or the seeds that you're going to sow, you're going to reap. As you sow, so you reap.